long, just like
This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Welcome everybody to Between the Ropes here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Crispy Bacon here with Big B. How you doing, Big B?
I am doing good. Yes, the EST of the Between the Ropes is here, Big B. I had a good couple nights of wrestling, which we will talk about later, but we may be joined by our newest colleague, Kevin Cherry might join us, but that being said, I know it's Monday night. Raw was on, but gotta say, yes, I'm a Vikings fan, but man, that was a heck of an ending for that game. But which we'll cover on Wednesday's primetime blitz. But yeah, Chris. So let's get into some wrestling action.
Yeah. So Friday was SmackDown. An anticipated Friday Night SmackDown, as everybody thought that when AJ Lee was going to show up. Normally, WWE drops the ball on stuff like that when we all anticipate a return, especially in the hometown where she and CM Punk currently live, and normally they drop the ball on that. Not this time. She did return, and boy, the crowd there was loud. I don't know who was louder on their return, either CM Punk or AJ Lee, but that return was...
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the worst kept secrets in all of wrestling, especially when, they're kind of hinting towards it a little bit. And then, of course, Clash at Paris, Becky came out and, they kind of teased it some more. And of course, then, Punk said, well, I guess, where SmackDown is. He goes, well, it's in Chicago. So showed up. You knew Becky or AJ was going to be there. It was obvious. You started, I know I started getting some little clips of AJ working out with CM Punk. I started seeing that on my social media pages and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where, they did not try to hide it. They did not try to swerve us. I think we said last week or, in our chats, it was obvious it was going to be AJ. I couldn't think of anybody else it could have been, or anyone or anybody that really makes sense. I mean, so yeah, she got a horrendous pop. I'd probably put that up to, close to when Shane McMahon returned, back before he wrestled Undertaker at Hell in a Cell. I think that was a great pop. But they did it. They milked it. It should be a good match, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was announced tonight that it was going to be an official match at WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, it's an official match at WrestlePalooza. You got Seth and Becky versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. in a mixed tag match. Now, I think it would be cool. It's not they haven't teased this or this has been floating around, but if both titles were on the line, the IC title for from Becky Lynch.
Yeah, winner take all type thing. So yeah, it would be kind of interesting if they did that. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting. I think it'd be more of a done deal if one title was on each side. Instead of both titles on Seth and Becky. If I think they could have done that, and maybe they will. Maybe they'll do a title, winner take all match. They showed AJ Lee holding the title like she just won an award and stuff like that. So maybe that is something to hype that match up, because right now, I mean, outside of just the hatred between Seth and CM Punk, I mean, there's nothing really this match is good for. I mean, a good AJ return, but this match ain't nothing. So,
and I think too, the last time I think Seth Rollins and Becky were in the mixed tag match was in I can't remember 17 or 18 I think it was, when they were going up against Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin.
Oh, yep. Yeah, when at that time didn't they both have the main titles?
Yeah, and I think they were up for grabs too.
Yeah, I think it was up for grabs. So I think it was a winner take all. So yeah, that definitely could be a possibility. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, we're just speculating. And then also on SmackDown, it was going to be John Cena's final appearance on SmackDown. He was thanking the fans for his time and his career on SmackDown. Sami Zayn came out and asked on if he would be okay if the Open Challenge returned, that Cena was most famous for doing. Cena accepted, and for Sami Zayn, his first opponent for the Open Challenge would be John Cena. Unfortunately, Cena did not win it. That's the only championship he needs to become the Grand Slam champ, but Sami Zayn retained.
Yeah, I mean, right now Cena's just out there to please the crowd, finish out his career. He doesn't need any more title runs. I think he's just giving the younger talent or new faces. I know Sami Zayn's not a newcomer, but giving those guys maybe their dream match against John Cena. I think he's probably just, as we would say, filling out the bingo card of giving everybody their chance with Cena.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too, just like Clash in Paris. John Cena has been using a lot of these famous moves from wrestlers, and it's normally wrestlers that he has faced over the years. And I think that's a good homage to his career.
And I know when he used the Styles Clash, he came out and said he used it because there's no plan for him to wrestle AJ. So
that's true.
Yeah.
We'll talk about AJ because he did wrestle, and during the commercial break he didn't mince words on how he felt in the company. So
I guess I missed that part. What happened?
He felt like that people want him out of the company.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, he's pretty much just been in two companies, TNA and and WWE. I mean, he's paid his dues. He's got a lot of respect. I mean, I think maybe when his contract up, he goes to TNA to finish out his career and retires officially as a TNA wrestler, which I think he should do that since he was the face of that company forever. He's going into the Hall of Fame in both. I mean, he'll be a TNA Hall of Fame. He'll be WWE Hall of Fame. So
Could he be
But-
in a? Could he be in as like a tag team or a faction?
what's that?
Do you think he'd be also in as a as part of a tag team or a faction?
No,
Like he could go in multiple.
I mean, no. Well, I mean, I don't think the OC will go in because I mean, yeah. No, I think he'll just go in as himself. He'll go in as AJ Styles.
He'll go in with Omos. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Fine.
him and Omos will carry him out.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's cover Raw in general. We started out with the Usos opening Raw with Breakker and Bronson Reed.
mhm.
And they kind of had a little back and forth setting up the WrestlePalooza match.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be a good match. I don't know how well it's going to be. They haven't tagged in 2 years. The Usos haven't.
I'm sorry, Chris. What'd you say you cut out there?
Sorry. I think it's going to be an interesting match. You haven't seen the Usos tag in a few years. But, I mean, being that they're twins, maybe they still have that connection.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Have the Usos back facing Braun and Bronson Reed. I like the combo, and I have not shied away from it. I think Breakker and Reed needs to be a push and get some gold around that way sooner than later. I know there might be some speculation coming, or some people may throw it out there that Usos will tag, but maybe Jimmy will turn and try to play that he's the better Uso and he wants to prove it this time. But yeah, it'll be a lot of speed versus power. But the Usos with the speed and, Reed and Breakker with the power. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all know Braun Breakker has the speed and just ask Carlito on that. So,
let's see. You have Raquel versus Lyra. Raquel won that match. I guess it was a setup last week.
yeah. To me, it's one of those things that, I think they're still trying to figure out how they're going to finish this, little rivalry. And, sometimes it just seems like WWE just does not know how to fully execute women storylines and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes.
They had a promo. They're just yapping, and apparently they got all new names, kind of with the word "morning" attached to it.
Oh, okay.
I guess they're still mourning of the tag division.
Oh, the New Day, yeah, they're. I don't know. I mean, I know they're paired up with Grayson Waller now, and I don't know how much that's going to work out. But yeah, this whole New Day morning thing it's I don't know if it just got old quick or just maybe not the right timing with some with the
Right.
Hogan death. I mean, and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, it's just lame.
A little bit. I haven't been impressed with the with the transition to the villain, the heel.
Yeah, them. I mean, they came in as a heel tag team, and then of course they were the face, and New Day Rocks and all that. But going back to the heel, some people could pull it out, and I think they started off as a good heel when they turned, as people say that or as them claiming nobody cares. But then this whole morning of the tag division tag titles is kind of just, like I said, just lame.
Yeah. We talked about the setup for the mixed tag match, but before that, AJ Lee comes out and talks about her journey after she retired from wrestling back in 2015. Been on the mental health journey, and everybody started to chant therapy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chant of therapy, I don't know what that was called for, but and also too, some of that chants get started by backstage people. But no, I'm glad she's back. I mean, I'm glad she's, got her help that she needed and clear her mind, and maybe if she's back for the long haul, then we put some gold around her waist. If she's just here for a match or two, then no really purpose to do that. So
There have been reports out there that she has signed like a multi-year deal.
yeah, but the multi-year deal, I mean, it's not like a typical contract, because the multi-year deal is I have X amount of matches to fulfill over the next several years. So it's not. It's not like, oh, we'll see her every week. I mean, we might at the beginning, but then she might only have to, make X amount of appearances and then have X amount of matches and, stuff like that. So, I mean, if she's there every other week, fine. If she's wrestling every couple weeks, I mean, okay. And, but if she's doing like this whole, John Cena thing where he has to only appear so many times and wrestle so many matches, and, kind of pointless. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to dig up the contract agreement at one point.
yeah.
And we'll get the details.
Yeah.
Penta and Rusev had a match. Rusev won it. And after the match, Penta's like, I want a shot at a title. I deserve a title. We'll just see how that goes, I guess.
Who? I'm sorry, you cut off there because, like I said, I was.
Sorry. Penta wants a title bad, and he went to.
Oh yeah, Penta. I mean, he earned it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he held the IC title for a quick moment, I think it was, before Dirty Dom got it, or I could be wrong on that. But no, he definitely deserves it, especially the way their partnership with AAA is going, and trying to move merch over there and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say put him in the title picture, and I mean, the worst thing happens is that he can't carry the company, and people don't like him as a champ. But when I saw him live in Raw, I mean, everybody was chanting. So they could do worse things to put the title around people. So
yeah, it could be Io Sky at one point, Io Sky, and not have a lot of title defenses.
yeah.
Let's see. We also have Nikki Bella and Asuka. Asuka wins her match. And it's been a back and forth feud with those two, and after the match, Nikki and Oscar were talking. They want round 2, but Rhea stepped in, so maybe there's a tag match coming. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like I said, it just seems like sometimes it seems like with the women they start off a good storyline. Um, I think this is going to be more driven with Rhea and Asuka. We've seen a lot of backstage interaction with them. I think the Kabuki Warriors are going to be turning heel if they haven't really been heel now. But so, I mean, we can see Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io, Rhea and Nikki. I mean, so I think it's going to be coming down to tag match between Rhea and Io, or tag match with Rhea involved somehow.
Yeah, and the question is, when are they going to set up a match for Survivor Series? We don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, you got, WrestlePalooza. Normally they start hinting towards. Well, I've seen some rumors. I know some people are throwing out there that this might be the first War Games mixed person. It might be 4 guys and a woman on each side, which I'm not against it, but I mean, we'll see how it goes if they do that. It's still shaping up to be that we're going to see Seth Rollins' team versus the Bloodline, somewhat, or some kind of LA Knight, Usos, Roman. So they're kind of teasing a lot of things. Don't know which way they're going to go.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You also have Bronson Reed versus LA Knight in the main event of Raw. You have Bronson Reed winning that one. It sets up, Jimmy Uso coming out and attacking everybody, and then Jay comes out and finishes off, and then Jay attacks someone, Jay attacks someone, and Jimmy's like, I think we're all good. So I feel like we all know they're aligned, and maybe, we saw Jay have that interaction with Roman saying, you gotta be about yourself, don't worry about anyone else. So he's kind of turning into Roman, and even Jimmy said that.
Yeah, I think it's going. I think you're going to see LA Knight align himself with the Usos. Roman click there as a common ground, and then you might see some kind of swerve turn after they do what they want to do. So, what's up, Kevin? How's it going, bud? Sorry about your Bears. So,
okay. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen with that? I think you're going to see a mini Bloodline faction come up.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got. I mean, especially if they're going to push it for a Survivor Series.
I could see Roman's group versus Seth's group.
I think that's what we're heading towards. Yeah, Roman-led team with Seth-led team.
And Jon Moxley's the special guest referee.
Yeah. And the thing is too, it might be coming down to, which something I'd like to see them do, that if Seth's still the champ at that time, hey, if Roman's team wins, then Roman gets a title shot, so. But
yeah, that would be a good one. Next week on Raw will be on at 6 p.m. Central.
Okay.
Instead of 7. I think to, be on a little bit before Monday Night Football.
Yeah, because they got a double header. That kind of makes sense. It depends on where they at. Where are they at?
I don't know. I forgot where they're at, but
Okay.
I think they're trying to combat that.
Okay.
You'll have CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, and Becky Lynch face to face.
So maybe a contract signing, or
Contract signing, or what we
maybe the announce of that winner take all type of match.
Yeah. Which, hey, I'd watch for that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting stipulation. You'll have Lyra versus Roxanne, another match in the Judgment Day faction. And John Cena will appear.
Okay.
And we talked about some of the matches for WrestlePalooza. You got Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. Tonight, I guess, was supposed to be a contract signing, but they scrapped that. Everybody was kind of freaking out over it. But they did confirm match is still going on.
Okay.
I guess you're like, we don't need a contract signing.
Now, of course, you watched Raw probably more than I did today. Was there any more of the weird Bailey videos, or?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was kind of going back and forth again. And then this time at the end, she goes, "I'll fix it." And it just, I'm sure there's a clip of it floating around.
Yeah, see, I can't, a lot of people are thinking Bailey's going to come out with a split personality. I can't see Bailey pulling that off. If you tell me if it was Alexa Bliss or maybe even Liv Morgan, I would say, yeah, they're going to do a split personality. I don't know. I just can't see Bailey pulling off, a split personality type character.
No. The Usos and the Vision will have their tag match.
Okay. Now they're officially calling themselves the Vision, the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense because Seth's the visionary.
Yeah.
You got this Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, AJ Lee. That's gonna be a good match. And then John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. One last time. We think it's one last time.
Yeah, I don't have high expectations for that match. So hopefully they put some kind of stipulation in there, because that'll be what we deem here as the Randy Cox, Dragon Viper, Bathroom Brick probably match.
Kevin saying Caleb Williams sucks still.
Yeah, he's a Bears fan, so and I know we'll break it down more on Primetime Blitz, but Caleb didn't look too bad. The first half, it was definitely a tale of two halves, but we'll get to that on Wednesday.
That's with a lot of games this week.
Yeah.
But no, that Brock Lesnar Cena match should be fun. I don't think you need any stipulations for that one. Just let them fight. Or you can just say fall count anywhere. I don't know.
Oh, bro. Which one? Lesnar versus Cena?
Cena, yeah.
Nah, you got... Well, I guess if you put a no DQ match in there, but, Cena's never been the one that just do a no DQ match. It's always been some kind of... And I know people will say, well, he's had DQ matches. I get it. But it just seems like if it's no DQ matches, there's always some kind of stupid stipulation or flag on a pole match or, stuff like that.
Speaking of flag on a pole, I think we're getting that on NXT tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a good match. I'm looking forward to that match. I know there ain't much going on NXT, but
You know. But what I think Cena should have done is not announce his retirement, but I think his retirement match should have been like his town match, career versus career match.
yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people are speculating that Brock Lesnar is going to do this is kind of his farewell. I know a lot of people are also thinking Orton's going to be doing a farewell one soon. So, and of course, everybody's speculating on, who is Cena's last match going to be. So,
And then we also have Styles, AJ Styles, who
yeah, AJ Styles is getting up there. Yeah.
The relation to Karrion Cross, the Hourglass.
Yeah.
And then on Friday after SmackDown, you can jump on over to WWE's YouTube page and watch AAA Worlds Collide. There's some WWE talent on there.
Okay.
The LWO is involved in an 8-man tag showcase.
Okay.
Dirty Don faces Vikingo.
And there's our newest member, the rookie Kevin Cherry. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, come on! We'll put football behind right now, and it's wrestling time. So,
Yeah. So did you catch majority of Raw, or kind of here and there? We're watching the Bears.
Oh no, I watched Raw. I watched the entire thing.
What do you think of it?
I was watching the Bears and I was watching Raw.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was doing it, but it was kind of tricky going back and forth.
Well, I was a little confused. I haven't watched, wrestling in a couple weeks. I checked in this week. So I was a little confused on the whole Jey Uso thing at the end there. Don't know why he decided to do that. Especially when they got a tag team match coming up with him and Jimmy. I don't think that really helps the connection between the two. Doing that to LA Knight.
I think it had to do with Jay talking to Roman and kind of the pep talk Roman gave him.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, more to come on that. That sounds like a pretty interesting storyline and see what they're going to do.
Yeah. What do you think of AJ Lee's return?
I wish WWE would have hit it a little bit better. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I wish they would have made it a little bit more secretive. I mean, it started to get pretty obvious when Becky Lynch started getting involved and slapping him around like a toy. And then I was like, all right, well, this is pretty obvious. It makes one of two people. It's either going to be Rhea Ripley or it's going to be AJ Lee. And then, it was just icing on the cake when he goes, when he asked him, where's SmackDown this week? And he said, home sweet Chicago. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's obvious. So,
yeah.
But, I mean, heck, it's still going to be the return of the year for sure. Bigger than Brock Lesnar's return at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I throw that out there. I agree with that.
How would you think they could have done it more, kept it more secretive? What would you think they could have done?
Honestly, I wish they wouldn't have made it so obvious. The whole, where's SmackDown? It's at Home Sweet Chicago. And him saying, when he was just that whole confrontation with Becky Lynch and everything, it started to get very obvious. And there's been rumors about AJ Lee returning. for a year now. I mean, there was talks when I went to the Royal Rumble of her returning. So it was, there's been talks for a while, and then this kind of just, like I said, put icing on the cake, and just the confrontation that he's had with Becky Lynch. And once Becky Lynch laid her hands on him, it was pretty much game set match, and it was obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think they could have, had the confrontation, had her start swinging at Punk, and then that same moment you have AJ come out.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been. I mean, it would have been obvious, but then it would have been like, oh my god, they actually kind of swerved us a little bit, on that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or you could have done was have this tag match, but have set up where Rhea is Punk's opponent.
I think what would have made it really cool, and I was talking to Brandon about this. I saw him at MOA the other day. He helped me out with some cards for some Lita cards. I was talking to him that that they should have done like how they did with Becky Lynch when they had the CM Punk Seth Rollins match, the Fatal 4-Way, and where Becky Lynch came at with the black gear on, and hit him where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done something along those lines where AJ Lee would have returned and helped him win against Seth Rollins in a match, and then you bring her in, do something that Becky did.
Oh yeah.
And then, or you give CM Punk a mystery tag team partner against the both of them at WrestlePalooza. Because then in the air you'd be like, oh, okay, after they're smacking them around and everything, oh, they should have brought her back by then. Now you're throwing up the air like, oh, maybe it is Rhea Ripley, or maybe it's Bayley or something like that. Then your options become more, not as, I guess, the talk isn't around AJ Lee as much because they would have already brought her back by then. You know what I mean? I think they could have done something like that. But I think, just it was, like I said, it was pretty much very clear that it was AJ Lee once he asked where SmackDown was going to be at.
I think what they could have done too is, set up for somebody like Rhea, and then you get to the match and, they announce who's participating. They go, Rhea's unable to, to compete in this match. And then you have the surprise return of, AJ Lee.
Yeah, they could have gone a few different ways, I think.
I think the only way that AJ Lee's return could be, beat is if someone like Paige returned. But I don't know how they would fit her in at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Paige would return back to WWE.
Well, I remember back then in a interview, she said that she will return back to WWE once her contract expires with AEW, and then she said that once her contract expires, she will return to WWE at some point. And
it's been expired.
Yeah,
it's been expired for a while.
Yeah, and it's been expired, so I'm just waiting for it to happen. I mean, think about it. You're bringing back all the older people now. You're bringing back Nikki Bella, AJ Lee. I mean, you got Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. You're bringing back all those people. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they signed Paige. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't either. And somebody posted that, it feels like 2015 again. You have Orton, you have AJ Lee, you got CM Punk, Brock Lesnar. What's your thoughts on WrestlePalooza's match card?
I haven't seen like I said, I haven't seen all the matches. I know you got the CM Punk one that was made official today, the tag match. You got John Cena. You got the Lesnar and Cena match, which I think I'm gonna like that match quite a bit. You got the tag team match with the Usos. I think that was made official, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you got that one. I haven't seen the other ones. I know those three for sure.
And then you got the Becky, Seth, and Punk, and
Oh yeah,
AJ
you got the Punk tag team match. And then you got the not Lyra, freaking Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky match.
I'm not sure how that one's gonna hold up.
I'm gonna guess that it's Stephanie Vaquer's turn to be pushed. I think this is how they finally start pushing her. Which I'm surprised it's taken this long. You sign such a big talent, and then wait this long for her to finally get pushed. I mean, same with Penta. I mean, he just lost today. I'm like, come on, like you signed Penta. He's a great talent. Why aren't you pushing him already? I mean, heck, you're pushing Rusev right now, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, they need to do better, pushing different things.
Because Penta should easily be a champion right now. I think.
Oh, yeah.
He should easily be United States or take the title off Dom. Get that man out of here.
Oh,
Dom out of here. I've been a big Dom for a long time.
You like Dominic?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Dom.
He's getting better.
He needs to have a haircut match. Go bald.
all right. So Chris looks like he's had something going on. So Kevin, being the new guy on the block here, kind of talked a little bit. We always ask this question to people that we interview, or we get new people on here. Who is your top Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? I mean, you could, however you want to break it down. We don't have a necessarily.
All right, I'll start with honorable mentions.
Okay.
I'll start with some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. I got Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and Ric Flair. Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I think my clear number one is gonna be Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Number two, Stone Cold Steve Austin. 3, I'm going with my boy The Undertaker.
Okay.
And number 4, I have to go Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
All right.
That would be my Mount Rushmore of the WWE.
Yeah, that's not a bad Mount Rushmore. I mean, everybody always has something different to throw on there, and
I put some thought into it. I've been thinking all day. I'm like, I could put John Cena up there. He's been around for so long. He's been at those championships.
Yep.
And then it's like, then you got The Rock, who's still all with WWE and doing all this other stuff. And then I was like Ric Flair, and it came down to Ric Flair, The Rock, and I was like, all right, well, I don't know. So I ended up going with The Rock for some reason. I don't know why, but I ended up just going with The Rock.
Yeah, no, I get it. Everybody's got their own reason why they go for things. Just like we always talk about the greatest of all time, and last week we had a question on, is John Cena the greatest of all time? What's your thoughts on that moniker given to John Cena?
Do I think John Cena is the greatest of all time? I mean, it'd be hard to argue that he's not.
Okay.
But again, if he's not even on my Mount Rushmore, how can I give him the label of being the greatest of all time? I don't even know how to go about it. I mean, if we're going by accolades, then yes, I would say he's the greatest of all time. If we're going by accolades, he's obviously got the most championships. He's got a reputation with WWE. I mean, I'd have to give it to him. I mean, I feel like there's like certain things that make him not greatest of all time. Like WrestleMania and stuff like that. I
Yep.
mean, if we're going by like WrestleMania wins and everything, obviously the greatest of all time at WrestleMania is by far the Undertaker. But it's like I said, if we're going by accolades and reputation, then yeah, I'd have to go John Cena. It'd be hard to argue that. I don't think I could have enough proof or argument to argue that.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. But so you kind of alluded to us meeting up. I mean, we're both there in Minnesota. What were you at the Mall of America for? Let's talk about what you're doing at the mall besides shopping and eating.
Well, so I went to the first wrestling event at MOA, and I got a couple of autographs. I got a Lita autograph and a Hornswoggle autograph, as well as a God, I keep forgetting his name. He had a big thing with MJF and AEW.
Danhausen.
Yeah, Danhausen. We got a picture with Danhausen while we were there. Gosh. I also talked to some of the wrestlers about how they got their career started and how they got into the business and stuff, because I am also on the fence about joining and training. So I talked to a couple of them. So gosh, I'm trying to remember what her name is. She's part
Caitlin
of
Diamond.
Yep. Caitlin Diamond. I'm thinking about joining hers, and then talking to one of the wrestlers at the event. I think her name is Caitlin as well. She's part of First Wrestling, and she said, "You want to know one way to find out if you want to do this badly?" And I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "Take your first bump." She's like, "Take your first bump, and you'll know if you want if it's meant for you or not." And I said, "All right, so just practically get laid out and see if I like it." Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's tryouts.
Yeah, there's a tryout coming. I think it's September 20th or something like that. It's a $75 entry fee for like pre-trial to see if you like it or not, and then if you do, then you pay the $1,500 tuition for it. But like I said, I've been watching WWE since I was like 8. I haven't watched as much, but I am getting back into it to where I'm watching it as more now.
Yeah.
But I've been watching it since I was young. I've always been like, yo, that'd be kind of cool to wrestle and stuff. So, I mean, I'm 25 now, but never say never.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked a little bit. You got a couple good connections already. With I know you reached out to JDX, who's one of my favorite local wrestlers, and I still am amazed that he's not picked up by some promotion yet and making a name for himself. Because if in the Midwest, if you follow wrestling and especially the independents, you know who JDX is. So
yeah. I got Paul Verk. I got I've talked to. I haven't really talked
Paul
to him,
Verk's another good guy.
Yep, I've reached out to him. Caitlin Diamond. I've talked to Mr. Anderson. I've reached out a couple people about it. So.
Yeah. So well, good luck on that journey, and hopefully you get it and you don't lose the connections here and stuff with us at Between the Ropes and and stuff like that. But
of course, Brandon will one day be getting my autograph.
Yeah, no kidding. My son will be wanting that autograph and stuff. So, but for me, Kevin knows too that Thursday and Friday, TNA was in town. I know we don't talk too much TNA on this show. I attended both shows. It was actually one live show followed by 3 recordings. So the next 3 weeks will be in Minnesota. Got to see a lot of great action. Got to see the contract signing per se of the Dudleys and the Hardys. not going to give away too much information because I don't want to get sued or whatever by giving spoilers because I'm not Paul Heyman. But the live event was good. Like I said, great action. The big story of our night was my son and I, we watched a YouTuber, TikTok guy. He's big into wrestling. Brandon Collins is his name. Or he's with his buddies, the Vibe guys. I think every show is almost all about wrestling. And me and my son always watches them as we're driving to a wrestling event or even at home. And my son's like, Dad, what if they showed up? I'm like, dude, it's TNA. They're in Minnesota. Those guys are in California. They're not going to be here unless it's a big event. So long story short, we get in the merchandise line. And I'm looking around, and who do I see? None other than Brandon Collins there. And I tap my son on the shoulder. I go, dude, look who's here. And he made a beeline right to him. They actually sat 4 rows in front of us, so that was kind of cool. Got to take some pictures with them. He has a big following. I mean, I think he posed for at least 30 pictures over the 2 nights that I saw him. But it was like a big shock there. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of was hyped about it too, just seeing them there. So, but outside of that, nothing new at MAW. Grand Slam hasn't really announced anything big yet. The meet and greets are still Great Muda, Adam Bomb, Tajiri, and Layla from Lay Cool. They've announced a couple good matches. Joey the Jet Avalon versus Tajiri. And then Sierra, I think, is facing Isada. Yep, that's going to be a good match. 2 people I follow closely in Sierra and Joey the Jet. And again, 2 more people I don't know how they're not signed to bigger promotions because they put on banger after banger. So, but yeah, that's a little recap of my weekend at wrestling and a little recap on the local stuff. So, Chris, back to you.
Yeah, so no, that seems like a good time at TNA. The Friday show was live.
The Friday show was live. I thought the Thursday show was live.
The Thursday show. I'm sorry.
Thursday was live, and then they, like I said, taped another show after that. And it really it was just confusing because they did say, okay, stick around because we're going to tape a show. They just kind of just rolled with it, so it felt like a one long card, and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was good. It was fun. We got some good seats, got some good pictures. So,
was it different than like WWE taping? Like back in the day, or?
Yeah, I would compare it to a wrapped up house show for WWE. I mean, there was no pyrotechnics. Of course, TNA doesn't do that much, anyways. But they were just in a, I don't even want to say gymnasium, but the Armory is a nice venue to hold special events like that. Historic arena. So you're up close and personal. I would say between the 2 nights, it wouldn't shock me if they had about 3,000 people there between the both nights. So.
No, that sounds good. I think they said during the broadcast that it was the first time ever being in Minnesota for TNA. Which is crazy how long TNA's been around.
Yeah. And
first time.
I mean, yeah, and the thing is TNA's been one of those companies that it's like, okay, they try to do stuff big, but then they run out of budget, so they have to cut back a little bit, and so.
Jim Hendricks saying, "BB, do you have a cold?"
Do I have a cold? I get a little stuffy here and there throughout the year, but no, I feel great. Just tired.
And then he's happy about Daniel Jones.
Yeah, again, Tim. Yeah, well, we'll definitely be talking about a lot of great football action, especially how the week one ended. So,
Yeah.
so
But besides that, I think that's all we got for
yeah.
what happened this week.
All right. Well, Kevin, why don't you? You're the rookie. Why don't you? I mean, if you got something on your mind you want to talk about, we got a few minutes left, or else we give our final thoughts.
I mean, I guess a question I would say is, does AJ Lee dethrone Becky Lynch?
Yo, great question. Me and Chris were
Maybe.
talking about that before you got on, and I think we kind of mentioned it too in our passing. I'd like to see this be a winner take all type match.
Yeah, we talked about that at MOA. Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think the
does.
winning
I think
team
it
gets
does turn
both
into that.
titles.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think it will end up. I mean, just from WWE past, I feel like it's just inevitable that does not happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to. I think they're gonna get there, and it's gonna be like, oh, this is a winner take all match, and it's just. I mean, because Seth Rollins has been up CM Punk's ass the entire time.
Yep.
I mean, he's not letting CM Punk win at all, and then he's getting his wife involved and everything. I just think that it has to happen. I just don't think it just does not.
Yeah, I think you're right. But if it doesn't happen and they have a one-on-one match, yeah, I could see AJ. Like I was telling Chris earlier, if AJ is here for a long haul, I know Chris was saying she signed a multi-year deal, which doesn't mean too much. It all depends on the appearances. But if she has a lot of appearances booked and matches booked, yeah, I can see her dethroning Becky.
And then I think that's where my, what I was saying earlier about Paige. I think if AJ Lee does win, I think you bring back that rivalry between AJ Lee and Paige back then when they were both battling out for the Divas Championship.
Oh yeah.
So I think I just see them bringing back more and more from back then.
Yeah, it's nice that they bring back people like this, but then you're also not pushing the young talent that we're seeing on TNA Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you bring these guys up to the big roster, and you kind of lose them in the shuffle. So, I see it both ways, but it'd be kind of nice for them to start pushing their own newer talent.
What if both titles were on the line, but say Becky or AJ pins Becky, but she gets the title? Like whoever you pin, you get your title.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. So it's titles on the line, but if CM Punk pins Seth, he gets the title. But AJ does it. But if AJ pins, she gets the title. Yeah, I can see them doing some kind of twist like that.
Then do you think that causes a dilemma between AJ and CM Punk? Because they both want they both want those titles.
Yeah, but as long as Seth is involved, we know that Punk's not going to get a title.
Yeah.
Because that's what
I don't. Yeah. It'd be interesting. I mean, again, we have great ideas here, and maybe somebody in WWE is listening, but that's why we're here doing shows and not writing for them.
Or do you make this a tornado match?
Nah, you don't make a tornado match. I think
I feel like it probably starts out that way. I ain't gonna lie. It probably starts out that way.
It's gonna start.
It's either going to start out. It's either going to start out like that between Punk and Rollins, or it's going to be one of those where it's going to take like 10 minutes for them to actually have some action. They're going to kind of back off every time and just play mind games, as they call it. So
that could be.
Yeah.
Big D.
Final thoughts. For me, wrestling is always great to talk about. Keep checking us out on C2C all week long. I know we've been saying that there's new shows in the works. There are. Just trying to find time slots and who wants to host them and great ideas. Kevin, it's great to have you join this program
Yeah.
along with between Primetime Blitz. You definitely got a lot to say. So, your final thoughts there, Kevin.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll have a lot to say on Primetime Blitz for sure. That's what I will tell you. That'll
Oh, yeah.
we'll have to mute Tim Hendricks there for a little bit too about that fantasy football matchup. But yeah, you know, like I said, I love WWE. I love wrestling. You know, I just, like I said before, I love my sport. So anytime I get to talk about it, it's always a good time. I just love seeing people returning from back when I was younger and, you know, seeing them wrestle again. It's good, you know, 10 long years since she's been here. And, you know, she got the loudest pop I've heard in a while.
Yep.
Probably since Alexa Bliss's return at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and then just getting people like Joe Hendry appearances in there, and you know, I think their storylines have been getting really good. So, like I said, I love watching it, love talking about it. It's always a good time.
All right. All right, Chris, your final thoughts.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. You know, the road to WrestlePalooza is going to be interesting. Can't believe that's a PLE name. I know it's been before, but still crazy. But I think it's going to be a fun ride. We'll be here.
All right, Chris. Well, close us out.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching, tuning in and commenting, and we'll be back next week for another Between the Ropes. So with that, have a great week.
Have a good one.